Hello everybody, I hope you're all having a great day and welcome back to my survival world. We're gonna get back to the village project today, but first we need to tackle something that I've just been too lazy to build, which is a vine farm. Vines are useful to make any mossy stone variants, and those will make our village look way better and more detailed. The mossy cobblestone and mossy stone bricks can help give it a little bit more life and just make the village look way better. So as soon as I can make a vine farm, I can start making those. The area where I want to build the vine farm is actually going to be in this cave that I built. This wasn't here originally. I built this to put my nether portal in. So this did have a nether portal in it before, and I switched that out to go over there in that direction because that's where it actually is supposed to be. So since there's no nether portal in the cave anymore, I think I'm gonna put the vine farm in there. I don't have a use for it right now, so I might as well. I think it'll work fine anyway because it's already got a lot of like bushes and stuff in it, so it'll suit the aesthetic of it already. I'm not completely sure what materials I want to use for the vine farm yet, so I'm just going to bring a bunch of different things and see what works best. I think dark oak will probably look decent, so I'll definitely bring that. Alright, so I'm going to start clearing out an area for myself to build the vine farm in. Make sure if you're building this yourself, give yourself a decent amount of space to start with. Because it's not a huge build, but it's big enough that if you just start with a large amount of space, it'll be so much faster to build and just easier in general. One thing I'm going to be doing is just getting rid of any diorite or granite. Personally, I just don't, like, they aren't going to match with the rest of it, especially since diorite is just ugly in general, so any diorite is going to have to go. Granite doesn't fit the build, so that's going to have to go as well. I'm just going to get all of this done. I'll cut back in a minute. I've finished clearing out the area that I'm going to build the vine farm in, so now we're going to actually put the vine farm into it. I haven't built one of these before, but I have the basic idea of what I want to build. The inspiration for this is from a guy named Waddles. That's where I saw it first, so for sure go check him out. I'll probably link his video in the description or something. The idea here is that we're going to make kind of like an upside down pyramid shape, or like an upside down slope, and that way we can fit the most amount of vines onto it possible and still be able to reach all of them. I'm going to make the slope out of dark oak wood. I'm just filling it in with stone now so that nothing spawns in there instead of lighting it up. So I'm going to make the slope out of dark oak, and then I'll cover that all with vines, and it can just grow down. The next thing that I'm going to do is add a bridge going through the middle of it. I'm going to be laying down water at the bottom to collect all of the vines and bring them into a chest. So if I put a bridge over the middle of it, then I won't have to walk through the water when I'm collecting the vines. Alright, we're getting close to being done now. I've just dug out the floor. You're going to want to do that. And then we are going to put a line of hoppers in facing into a chest. This is actually going to go right underneath the bridge. So I'm going to take part of that out for a second. And we are going to place the chest in. And then make sure when you place the hoppers, they're facing directly into the chest. If one of the hoppers is facing the wrong way, you're going to lose a lot of the vines. So make sure all of the hoppers go right into the chest, and it'll be smooth sailing. You won't have any problems whatsoever. After that, all we're going to do is put some ice all around the floor. That way the items go quite a bit faster. It's pretty much optional because we're going to have water there anyway. But I'm going to be putting in ice on the floor to help it go faster. That's just a preference thing. Now we are on the final step of building it, unless you want to decorate it, which is to put the water sources in. So what we're going to do, first of all, is make an infinite water source by placing 2 water sources next to each other. And then the way that we need to do this is when you get to the corners, you need to place the bucket 1 block up and then leave 1 block of space on each side between it. That way it doesn't connect up and make more infinite water sources. You don't want infinite water sources on the corner, or else it'll just fill the whole place in, and that's not what you want. You want it all to just be flowing directly into the hoppers. So place the ones on the corner 1 block up and leave space for them, and then fill all the ones on the sides in with full water sources. Then all of it should be flowing directly into the hoppers if you've done it right. You can see here once again, we just leave 1 block of space on each side and then place the water source 1 block up. There you go. Now we're all finished. I finished up decorating the vine farm, and I'm just going to add these banners. All you need to do to use it is get some shears and shear the vines starting from the bottom up so that they actually drop all of them. And then all of the vines just end up in the chest. It's as easy as that. I've finished building the farm, the vine farm. That is completely done. I even added some detail after the tutorial of it was done. But now we can actually start heading back to the village, so that's going to be good. I'm going to get some materials for that, because today we are going to be doing the build palette. So we're going to pick out some blocks to actually build the village with. That way it can all be somewhat the same and actually look good. As far as stone types go, like we discussed before with the vine farm, I want to be using a lot of mossy variants of stone stuff. So like mossy stone bricks, that's going to work for sure. We're going to get a bunch of those. And mossy cobblestone as well, that would be good. So yeah, that should work. Today I'm not going to be finishing the entire village. Obviously that would take way too long and I wouldn't be able to get all of that done in one video. But we're going to try to get probably like an example of a house done, and like maybe a little shop or something, and probably like a little garden area or something like that as well. That'd be cool. So yeah, we'll just have to see what we can get done. Okay, so I am back at the village now, and as you can see, I've changed up a few things and added a whole lot as far as planning goes. I've done quite a bit and added more houses, and I've also added a little bit more shops, I believe. So I might still not be completely done planning, but for right now, this should be perfectly fine, and it's enough to work with so that we can get a basic idea of what we want to do. Before I start to build any of the buildings, I'm going to make the build palette. Now, all we're trying to do with the build palette is figure out what blocks look good next to each other and which blocks don't. So one example would be that dark oak looks really good with spruce planks, but dark oak logs and spruce logs don't really work that well together because one is a really warm color and one is a really cold color. So we need to understand that and then adapt our builds to actually keep that in mind. That way, when we build them, they look a lot better. This here is a really good example of one of the build palettes that I'll probably be using in the city quite a bit. Another few blocks that I'll probably be using is, of course, the mossy cobblestone and mossy stone bricks instead of andesite. I'll also use polished andesite, and I can probably mix in some oak wood into it, maybe oak trapdoors or something like that, because I'm sure that oak wood will look really good as a detail block. This is the building that we're going to be building first, and I'm just going to walk you through the process of it. So the first step that we're going to have to do is framing it out. I'm going to be using some logs for this, and I'm just going to get that done. Now is the foundation, which I'm going to be using cobblestone for, and we are going to build that up 2 blocks high. Now that we're done the foundation, I'm just going to add some mossy cobblestone in there to detail it out a little bit. I've also added the doorway in. Now I'm going to add an extra layer of spruce on the top. And after you're done that, you can move on to making the roof. We are going to start by framing it out with some polished andesite. After you've done that, you can go back and fill it in with whatever blocks you want. I'm going to be using some dark oak logs and stripped dark oak logs to make it look a little bit weathered and run down. The only thing that I have left to do now is to detail it out. So what I'm going to do is detail this house, get it completely finished up, and then I'm going to build one house off camera. I will get back to you in a minute and I'll show it to you guys. Okay everybody, so I have finished the second house now. This is what it looks like, and personally I think it looks pretty good. I'm proud of it. I haven't done the interior of it yet because I do not want to do that right now, and I do not have the time, honestly. So we're not going to be doing the interior right now, but once I've gotten most of the houses built up, then I'll do the interior. That should be fine. So that's going to be the end of the video. I really hope you all enjoyed, and I'm sorry we couldn't get more houses done today, but in the next video, I'll definitely be getting a ton done if it is a village video. So I hope you guys enjoy. Feel free to leave a comment and like the video, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.